Hi everyone, my name is Abel Gray Kantuma from GREYTEST Design Consult. This is my WhatsApp contact. You can reach me on this number or you can call me on any of these numbers, okay? Today I'm going to be showing you Dogleg staircase detailing, okay? I'll be explaining that to us briefly. This is Stonebridge company detailing template. Okay, it's actually a very great template. I've talked about it before. I will encourage you to have it. Okay, it's very good for most of you that are using Prota structure and then some other softwares that when you are trying to print your detailed drawing, it does not really come out well. So I will encourage you to get this. All you need to do is, once you generate your drawing, just copy the drawing and paste in the window. It's going to take the entire property of what you already have here in this template, and then it will spare you the stress of changing the colors, changing the font size, changing the thickness of the reinforcement and all of that. All that can take a whole lot of your time. Okay, so this will actually make your work much more easier and then faster. So you can get it for a token. All you need to do is just to DM me or call me on any of those numbers. Okay, let's quickly go through this right now. You can see this is a dog leg. This is actually the plan view of this staircase. This is staircase detailing. This is not the design. Whatever you see that is used here as regards to the spacing and the thickness of the reinforcement must have been gotten from design. So this is a detailed drawing that is done based on a design that has been done already. So now you can see here, now we have from the plan view, this staircase is telling you that you are actually starting from here. Okay, you are going this way and then you have a landing here, and then you move this way and you come back this way and you have another landing at the first floor. Okay, so this is actually what it means. You have a column here, you have a column here, you have another column here, you have another column here, you have another column here, based on the general arrangement that has actually been done. Okay, so but right now we are focusing on the detailing, explaining how this staircase detailing is. Now you can see, if you are very much familiar with your slab, I don't think this staircase detailing should be much difficult for you to understand. The only thing is in this cross section, which I'm actually going to be explaining that as we go further. Now you can see this is the cross section A, this is the cross section B. By the time you cut this staircase now at cross section A, like I said, you are starting from here. This is actually what you are going to have at the ground level. This one that is showing like a continuous sign, continuity sign, is telling you that this is actually the thickness of your German floor, which is in mass concrete in most cases, except in a case where you are designing like a raft foundation. So you can see the thickness is 150 mm. Okay, and then you have here, you just dig a little at this depth. Okay, this was dug at a depth of 150. So it depends on whichever depth you want to go for, but just slightly below the depth of your DPC. Like, staircase is actually more like an independent structural member. It does not have impact on your structural members. Okay, unlike other structural members like your slab, the slab load is distributed to the beam load is distributed to the column load is distributed to the foundation, and then the foundation send it down to the natural ground. Okay, but in the case of staircase, it's more like an independent structural member. Okay, that has no or little impact on the building itself. Okay, so as you can see here, now we have this at the cross section here. Then we have this reinforcement. Each of these reinforcement, you can see there are numbers that are attached to them. It's more like a name. We call them bar mark. Okay, so this is reinforcement 1, this is reinforcement 2, this is reinforcement 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. You can see this reinforcement and this reinforcement are the same, so they have the same name. Whenever you have a reinforcement of the same thickness, the same length, okay, it covers the same length, it spans at the same length, and everything is actually similar, then they can have the same name. There's no need of you giving it a different name. The same thing with this case. Okay, this is actually a similar reinforcement, so it has the same name. This is actually also a similar reinforcement, so they have the same name. Okay, so this is the reason why this one is O2 and this one is also O2. Now you can see this reinforcement here. This is telling you now that this is actually your bottom bar, which is coming from the ground. You have this one as your top and bottom reinforcement, also coming from the ground. Okay, then it goes up now to where you have your landing. Okay, then you have this reinforcement, which is actually a top and bottom. So let's confirm what I'm telling you from here. So we have reinforcement 7, which is this is actually top and bottom. The reinforcement okay, reinforcement 1 is top and bottom, reinforcement 7 is also top and bottom. Then we have this reinforcement, which is actually a top bar, which is number 5. Okay, this reinforcement is actually top, this also is actually top. Okay, it's at the top. You are going to see that in the cross section. This is actually going to be well explained in the cross section. Okay, this is just the plan view. So by the time you look at the cross section here now, you are having at cross section AA, when you cut this at the cross section AA, you are actually going to be having this. This is the reinforcement 0101, which is this reinforcement that returns this way. When you cut this when you cut this cross section, you are going to see this reinforcement at the top here, which is this reinforcement here that returns here inside here. That's the reinforcement we are talking about. Then this one is actually the reinforcement at the bottom, which is this reinforcement. That's the reinforcement we are actually talking about. Okay, so if you look at this now, the length from here to here now is 1200. From here, that's the entire landing is 1200. The flight is actually 3000. The flight means from here to this point is actually 3000. From here to this point, which is our landing, is actually 1200. You can see we have a support here. Okay, so this is coming from the ground. Like I said, this is actually our DPC. Okay, so here now, this, like I explained in the previous episode, this is actually the riser. If you look at this now, from here to here, where you actually have your foot, it always comes in 1 foot, like the name implies, a foot. 1 foot is like, if you check the foot of your leg, okay, based on the standard, the average width, or is it length of a human foot is around 300 mm. So that is how this is gotten from. So if you check from here to here now, is actually 300 mm, which is in a foot, is approximately 300 mm, even when you try to measure that in using your tape. Okay, so this is your thread. It is called a thread. So from here to here is called a thread. And then this is a thread, which is 300. This is actually gotten from the architectural drawing. It has nothing to do with the structure. The architect will specify the height of your riser. He will specify the width of the thread as well. Then this is 150 as the height of the riser. what you as the engineer will determine now is your waist. Okay, the waist is your responsibility, and then the reinforcements and the spacings of those reinforcements in the staircase is actually fully your responsibility. But the riser and the tread has nothing to do with structural design. So this is actually gotten from the cross section of the architectural drawing, okay, that has been given to you by the architect. You are to specify the width of this waist. Now the waist is more like the thickness of that staircase. Okay, so if you measure from here to here, now is 175. that is gotten based on the design that was actually done. Okay, it's not an assumed value, it's not a constant value, it is a design. When you run your design, the design will tell you if this waist thickness is sufficient or not. Okay, so if it is not sufficient, you will know the staircase will fail. You will have to increase the thickness of that waist. Okay, so the next thing now is for us to locate all this reinforcement that we have here and from the plan view. Now you can see here this reinforcement, which is our reinforcement O3, which is this that is indicated by this arrow, which is O3. The reinforcement O2, like I said, this is actually the reinforcement that is actually spreading from here now up to this point here. Okay, now it is actually spanning at a spacing of 150 mm based on the design. Okay, so the design is actually telling us that we should or we specified 150 mm and we discovered that it passed. Okay, so 150 mm is the spacing based on the design, and then which is what we have here. So you can see all this reinforcement, these dots that you see is the reinforcement I am talking about. All this reinforcement, this is the reinforcement I'm talking about, which is this, which is O2. And then this reinforcement which we have here, which is O4, that spans just around where you have your landing, is O4, is here at this point here where you have your landing. So these are the reinforcements. It is actually here, you can see this is the reinforcement I have here as O4. Okay, if you already love what you are seeing, please like this video, just give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, it's actually free. Click on the bell icon so as for you to get a notification whenever I post videos. I post videos like this on a weekly, sometimes on a daily, just to encourage as many that actually want to have a deeper insight of design. Okay, down below the description of this video you'll find the link to this YouTube channel. Make sure you visit the channel and keep yourself busy. Okay, we've covered a very wide range of designs. Cover structural designs, mechanical and electrical service drawings, architectural working drawings, both 2 dimension and in 3 dimensions. We've covered road designs, like I said. Okay, we've covered up to 28 different types of softwares that are actually used in architecture, structures, highway, geotechnique, okay, and then water. Okay, we've covered all of that in our channel. All you need to do is just to visit the channel and keep yourself busy. Make sure you subscribe. Just click on that red button anywhere you find it in this video. Just click on it and you have subscribed already. It's actually 100% free. Okay, now you can see these are the reinforcements O4, 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 O4. This is the reinforcement I am talking about. Now when you cut that cross section, you are going to be seeing this reinforcement, which is O4. You can see the reinforcement, and then the reinforcement O5, which is this is the reinforcement. You can see it returns. That is why this reinforcement that actually is returning inside, you can see is actually giving a different color from the reinforcement that is just at the bottom level. Okay, so this one is actually returning back inside. This is also returning back inside. This is also returning back inside. Okay, now this reinforcement is distributing from here to here. This reinforcement is actually spreading from here down to this point here where we have this point here. Sorry, I think I made a mistake earlier on trying to explain this reinforcement. This reinforcement spans from here, please, to this place. Okay, just at this flight. okay, it does not enters this landing, okay, it stops at this point. Okay, the same thing we have here. This reinforcement actually spans from here to here. That's this particular reinforcement. It spans from here now to this place. Okay, and then let's confirm what we have here. By the time you take the entire length of this is 3000 plus 1200, which is 4200 plus 1575. This will be 5775. So if you punch that in your calculator, you are going to be having, so if you punch 3000 now, for example, and you divide this 3000 by 150, it's going to tell you the number of reinforcement that we are going to be having for this particular bottom bar. So we have 3000 now. You divide by 150 mm, you are going to be having 150. Yeah, you are going to be having 20. So if you check to confirm this reinforcement, all right, let me start from here now. Let me start from this particular one. All I need to do is to check this particular, the width of this stairs. This is 850. So if you divide 850, if you do 850 divide it by 150, you are going to be having 5.6, which is approximately 6. So for this one now, which is this, that spans from here to this point, which is our reinforcement 1, we are going to be having 6. So if you add plus 1, which is 7, but 6 is perfectly okay. So there's no need for me even making this 7. Even add, this is 6, which is okay. And then you have reinforcement 03 is also 6, which is very okay. Then we have our reinforcement, that's this particular reinforcement that spans from here to here at 850. Okay, this reinforcement also here that we have is the same thing. For 07 is the same thing. For reinforcement 05 is the same thing. Okay, for both ways. Then if you come to reinforcement 02, which is this, that spans from here now to this place, which is actually 3 meters. So if you divide 3 meters divide by 150, you are going to be having 20 number of that, and then which is what we have here for reinforcement 02. If you divide by the entire length, let me take that measurement, which is here, from here now to this point, this reinforcement spans 20. We are going to be having 20 number of this reinforcement that will span from this point to this point. Okay, then if you check this reinforcement 04, which is here, from this point to this point is 1200. By the time you divide 1200 divided by 150, you are going to be having 8 number of that reinforcement, which is this that we have here. Okay, so that is actually how all of this is actually gotten. There's no trick behind this. This is very, very easy. You know, I just showed you the cross section AA. If you go to cross section BB, it's the same thing here. We are going to be having here at cross section BB. Here we are going to be starting from the landing, which is this. You can see that reinforcement. This, what we have here, is exactly what is here. Okay, but at this point when you land, you are going through another flight again. Okay, so this is exactly what this means. Let me try to copy this out so you understand what I am saying perfectly. Good, this is how it is. Okay, in real life this is how it is. You are starting from here, which is the natural ground. You move to this point, and then you have the landing here. From this landing here, when you land here, you continue to this point, and then another landing at this point. Okay, so this is exactly how it's going to look like in real life. When you take the cross section of this staircase, this is what you are going to see. Okay, so coming back to this now, if you look at this at cross section BB, like I said, you are going to see this landing first, and then you have another flight which is coming from here to here, which is also at a length of 3 meters. So this flight is also at 3 meters, and then the waist is 175 mm, which is gotten based from the design. Okay, so it's actually gotten from the design. And then we have this here now. We have the width of this staircase, and then we have the flight, and then we have the landing. As easy as that. Okay, we have different types of staircase, like we have the helical staircase, we have spiral staircase, we have the dog leg, we have the open well. Okay, we have yeah, I think I've mentioned helical. Okay, so there are different. We have the straight flight, so there are different types of staircase. So right now we have covered the straight flight kind of staircase, and then we have covered the dog leg type of staircase. Okay, if you love what you are seeing, make sure you like this video and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you stay safe and make sure you stay blessed. You want this Stonebridge company detailing templates, all you need to do is just to DM me, or you can call me, okay, on any of those numbers, just for a token, and you are going to get it.